I reckon it's like a weird fishing thing. Hey, like there's like these weird like things that happen when you're fishing. Like someone else catches the fish for you, or it's like beginner's luck.
Yeah. When
Or
someone
I catch 2
Or
reeds
when...
and Finch catches 9. Nah.
I don't think I remember that story.
Did you push the button?
Yeah, on both of them actually.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Well, I remember the story.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome to another little cute podcast. This will be number 2. And would you guys like to let everyone know where we are exactly?
God's Country, Strathbogie, Victoria. By Simmons Creek. It's not a bad place to hang out.
It's pretty lush.
On Tangerang country.
That's it.
On Tangerang Country.
So for those who don't know, this is Leigh Redding, and he's about to turn 30 on Wednesday. This is his lovely partner, Alana. Alana Mountain, which that's family name, right? Mountain? Yeah. Wow. How long? Like a few generations?
This generation.
Huh? So I adopted my name from my stepfather.
Yep.
My mum remarried when I was like 7, and I wanted to have the same family name as my little brother at the time, and yeah, my mum and my new dad. So and I didn't connect, like I knew at that age that I didn't connect with the surname I had, but I felt really drawn to having the surname Mountain, and yeah, just like wanted to be the same as the rest of my family.
Yeah, okay.
And I never really saw my dad anyway. Like I didn't really get to see my dad until I was in my teen years, but anyway, that's how I ended up with my surname. And I actually like didn't change it legally until I was 18 because my dad wouldn't sign like the documents.
Yeah.
It was a pretty...
Do you feel like he was losing you or something maybe?
Yeah, I think it's because there was no conversation around it, and I kind of my mum and stepdad at the time wanted me to change my name legally when I was 15 because things were becoming difficult with like paperwork and stuff, and like I was actually enrolled in schools as Alana Mountain, even though Alana Mountain didn't exist in the the legal system.
So you're undercover from a young age.
I was.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's how I got.
I was like, did you have activism back? Like, how young can you remember your activism?
Pretty young. Like, I started becoming a little social justice warrior at around 14.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. I organised,
was that just
like,
being argumentative, or what was the...
It's because of Mr. Mann, wasn't it?
Well, my dad, he took me to my first rally when I was
cool.
quite young. Like, I went to the march against the war in Iraq.
Yep. What year was that again? I don't remember.
What?
14.
No, it was earlier than that. It was like 2000 and...
No, as in when you were 14.
She was 14, so what's
Quick
that?
maths, 26 years ago.
Don't tell me.
1998. That's 36. Gotcha.
Bus.
Well, but yeah, anyway. I was argumentative. I was debating. Yeah. I was on the debating team at school.
Oh yeah, she can win an argument, I'll tell you. I don't even try sometimes. Like, I might know I'm right, but I'm going to concede.
Hey, I've got to be careful here, but some would say that's the key to marriage.
You might be in good stead.
Hey, that's funny. But yeah, we are, well, I won't say Leigh, I can't claim it, but...
We've been fishing, and we caught a fish.
Next to the river here, which might be that sound that you hear in the background. That might not be the prettiest bit to pick up, but...
It's very fishy. It's yummy, but it's like, whoa, that's fish. And it tastes so different from an ocean fish.
Yeah. They do taste different, but like, most river fish actually taste a lot muddier. Like, you know, if you... Yeah. Some are like bottom feeders where perch are like quite clean fish.
Yeah. Pretty clean, yeah.
Yeah. Silver perch.
Yellow belly's quite fatty.
Yeah, yellow belly's fatty. Yeah. So is cod.
So is cod.
Yellow belly, delicious.
I think I like... And so, yeah, I think trout and definitely redfin from the areas similar to this that we grew up in. They're probably my favourite fish to eat, for sure. But there's probably not too much more than that, is there?
Freshies to eat.
Yeah. No, you got...
we caught a cray when we were younger. And
That's true.
that was absolutely delicious, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, we were camping by.
We were young. We were like,
this is the story, actually.
Were we like 14?
2 parts of the story. Maybe a little bit older. Maybe around then.
Yeah, maybe 15.
On the Goulburn, just outside of Yea. And we thought the fishing line was snagged.
Like
we're in a good spot though, like rocky, but it was like not moving. And then, so as the brave, strong one of our friendship group,
as the one that got convinced by the others,
we sent him in on a mission to fetch the
hook.
The hook.
We didn't have much tackle
because it wasn't too deep. And turns out there was a little
too cold.
Freshwater cray, big one, on the line. Nearly chopped his toe off. But we hadn't really caught any. Hey, another one.
We're on.
We're on. That's what you want.
He's on.
Yeah, he's on.
What did we catch that
Oh.
time?
What do you mean?
It's a redfin.
Oh, we already said the cray.
Yeah, the cray. But what was funny about it, we hadn't caught a big one like that before, so we weren't sure. There we go.
Oh, don't let it go away.
We weren't sure how to cook the lobster.
You got to give it a kiss, Leigh.
Nah, fin will. I kissed the last one.
Oh shit. Got it. This is a bit of a outdoor potty. Haven't done one of these before, but you know,
action.
Yeah, that's it. Communication goes far and wide. So people you know and the different skills.
Just want to do a little product placement for a second. Strathbogie Brewing Company, best brewery I think in the whole world.
I've been very impressed by the beer so far, and we do like a plug on this website. Re-scratch that. We like a plug on this podcast, and we're all about bringing out the little people.
And such good little people. Little brewery up on God's country here. Grow a lot of their own hops and wheat. And it really shows. You drink a bottle or two and it tastes as good as you'd want it to.
Yeah, little hangover. We had a whole keg for Leigh's 30th and we're still feeling pretty we're fine.
Yeah.
We're fine.
Obviously not just us.
Yes.
There was a few others at the party.
Yes. Yeah, we're not piss heads. Back onto that crayfish story. So we called my old man in because we weren't too far out of town. No, that's why we were older. I think we were like 19 because we all drove there.
Nah, yeah,
did we?
True. No, did we?
We were
I got
younger.
dropped off, I reckon. I reckon we were like
true.
16, 17.
Because we hadn't caught heaps of crayfish
with Aaron.
Yeah, that's right. Was it Marta as well, maybe? Or Emery?
I think it might have been Emery.
Was that when Milo was there and he broke his arm?
No, he broke his arm after the footy grand final, didn't he?
No, that was on one of the camping trips to that same spot. Yeah, that's for another story.
Yeah.
But for this crayfish, Dad came out. He cuts up the cray for us. Obviously, we're cooking it over the fire. And classic Dad goes, oh, yeah, this is the best bit. Cuts it. Fucking starts eating it.
Yeah.
He took the
claw.
best bit.
He took the claw, cracked it open. Boys, this is the best bit. At the same time, he reached down and grabbed the other claw. Crack. This, you've done well, boys.
That's a dad moment right
That's
there.
a dad moment. And then he drove home.
Yeah, then he ate it, and he left.
To his credit, like, we were the ones asking for help.
Yeah.
He drove out of town. And yes, he took the best bits, but we enjoyed the tale.
It was a classic dad
and
moment.
now we learnt a lot.
Yeah.
It was a dad moment in a lot of ways.
And to this day, we're waiting to catch him, Cray.
Yeah.
And give him not the best bit.
Yeah. We're going to go fishing with him. Head up north.
Yeah.
That'll be
That's
good.
it, mate.
Yeah.
Love that.
And
I want to meet your dad. Had a bit about
You haven't met him? Yeah, he's a good man. He's a funny man.
Has he visited you and Alice?
Not yet. Not yet. No, we've been thinking about going to Thailand, but I've invited him to Alice. Yeah. No, he's cruising along. I worry about you sometimes, mate, that maybe he's looking into the conspiracies a little bit too much.
I've dropped a Facebook message or two.
Really? What's the nature of it?
Just links, sharing information.
He looks deep though. He's like, and then he fully believes certain things which may or may not be true. I'm not
Is it
denying
like
anything.
I feel like there's like a bunch of conspiracy theories that conspiracy theory humans believe all simultaneously. Like is he on the alien spectrum of things where the pyramids were planted, or is he like the
More
vaccine?
anti-government control.
Government power
so
control.
Illuminati, does he believe in that?
No, he's pretty old school. So I think it's like old school people.
Like 9/11 was an inside job kind of shit?
What's he into? He's like,
Which it totally could have been.
It could have been.
Anyway.
yeah, I think just control things. And then stuff to do with, like COVID definitely brought a lot of that out for sure. Definitely.
Yeah, like...
How much was it planned? The control.
And like...
the stuff.
Digital currency is probably something he shared with me.
Dude, I've been thinking.
Which, fair enough.
Yeah.
I like paper
I
money.
think that there's an element of truth to digital currency for sure.
Yeah.
Because of course the government wants to know every single transaction and stop
especially
us being
AI tax agent. Fuck, you'll be a bastard.
The amount of people who make money. I actually think it's a huge social justice issue, and we should keep an eye on it.
I'm on again.
Oh.
I get, there's so many people get paid cash for certain jobs. If I had to declare that money, I'm paying so much more tax. It's just bullshit. And then you think about like people on the streets and stuff, and the way we give them money. Like, what will happen to those people? What will happen to the people that just need to be handed a $20 note? So we got to keep an eye on that shit.
Will it change? That could go on the fire, couldn't it?
Why are you still hungry? We haven't finished this one.
Well, we've been in the potty, but yeah, we'll just keep catching them, I guess.
Well, it seems like the pool's pretty stocked.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just the same one.
That's female too, eh?
This one's a female.
Is it female?
Full of eggs.
Put her back.
Oh, put it back.
You cannot kill the mother of springtime. I know you want to do it. Oh my god, there's so many pregnant women in Bogey at the moment.
Really?
Spring is popping off. Like, I feel like everything about here.
I thought it's funny you say that. It's like,
and we've got
I feel like I've seen everyone that lives here already, but obviously I haven't. Yeah.
We've got pardalotes nesting in our roof.
Yeah, that's nice. Oh, you just mean it like...
No, I think she means in both ways.
In
the
both
human,
ways.
women.
Humans, women,
popping,
the
and
fish,
all the birds. And
the blossoms, the bees, the birds, the river.
Season of the birds
everything.
And the bees, you know?
It is.
Like springtime.
It is, baby. It's time.
It is springtime.
It's springtime.
This lovely lady over here would love to be a mother. Yes. She's calling it in. She's calling it in.
Can you say that one again?
Nah, it's only say it once when it's recorded. I think you heard me anyway.
Love that.
Yeah. I should reworm my line.
Yeah, do it.
Because you're not catching any.
No.
Sorry to say.
You're in the good spot though. Where are you? You're down in here.
So see the rock? Around this rock it drops into a channel. I think you're up a bit more on a beach. And then in the middle it's quite deep, and then this side's a sandbar too.
Alright.
Really
we'll do a little
really
pause.
Don't you?
I swam in there a couple of times.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep it rolling.
Yeah, we can just cut it, bro.
Roll.
And maybe people want to just like a break, you know? They might want to go get a cuppa while we like reworm the hooks. Maybe get a drink. I think Alana needs to take a wee.
How do you know that?
You said it before when you got here.
Yeah, but I did pee.
Oh.
But I do need to pee again.
You always need to pee again. Like everyone.
You know me well.
How nice is that tree over there? With all the like gnarly burls and stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
There's a really nice peppermint upriver from here.
You could politely clean that tree back a little bit, Leigh. Sure.
No, I probably won't. That one's quite...
It's probably got some...
right happy where it is.
Yeah. Oh, not the tree. I don't mean to take
the bush.
Just clean the tree a little. But...
As in that one?
Yeah, it's probably got possums and everything in
No.
it.
There's no cleaning the tree. That's a colonial thing.
No, I just mean for...
No, you get your big brush out.
When I say cleaning, sorry, that only meant to say if you would like to get some woodworking items off that tree.
Okay.
That's all that meant.
Okay, I thought you meant like...
We're not coming in like the council, no.
We need to clean up that tree, mate.
No.
Let's get the big loppers out.
Yeah, I hear you.
I didn't know, yeah.
One branch, I mean.
Well, it's an interesting
Yeah.
topic you bring up there, Finn, because I think about this a bit. It's like, obviously, or maybe not obviously for people who might be watching, but I like trees a lot. I like forests and nature. I also dealing like woodworking. So much like it is with eating meat, for anyone who eats meat, the animal has to die for you to then enjoy its bounty or that resource. And timber is, in my mind, one of the best resources created on this little planet we call home. And it would be a shame not to use it.
Yeah.
Even if some of you may die.
It's a sacrifice.
There's a lot you can do to recorrect, you know? Like
and there's ethical use too.
You're a tree planter, man.
I do plant.
That's a massive part.
I've planted more trees than I've cut down.
Yeah.
By a long mile.
We can get
Me too.
now
I
about
planted 200 trees in a day once.
It's
proud of that.
It's all about reciprocity.
That's it.
Yeah. What's your bit, Alana?
My bit on it.
For like timber as a human resource, and the ethicality of harvesting it or like the use of it, you know, because obviously in many places of the world, it's been over harvested to the shit.
Yeah.
Literally turning the place to shit.
Preach.
But most human houses have also been made of some sort of timber.
Yeah. I think at this point in history, we don't really need to extract any more resources because everything that we need and already exists on Earth needs to be recovered. And I think we need a lot of resource recovery to happen before we start going and cutting down more trees or creating more steel or creating more plastic. Like literally everything we fucking need just needs to be recycled properly. And then, you know, like it's absurd that for one, we cut down trees in neighborhoods and then they just end up mulched. Like why are those trees not being cut and then, you know, milled? And we should have more community mills, and we need the infrastructure to support the resource recovery. Like it's crazy how much wood you get that's come from like some house being demolished, and it's amazing wood, and when you get it I'm like, what the fuck, that looks like a piece of shit. And then you strip it back and you like oil it, and I'm like, holy shit, like underneath that was like a perfectly incredibly beautiful piece of hardwood.
Yeah.
And I think people just constantly throw away stuff
there's a big
because
waste.
it looks aesthetically
there's always a big waste.
And I guess the other thing is with timber and most other resources is at the moment it's cheaper to just use new. Like the effort required.
Well, that's the thing. When I did
my
my tables, you know, buying recycled timber, it wasn't cheap.
Yeah.
Where were you
I think
sourcing?
there's a shift happening now in Victoria because of the end of native forest logging. The price of hardwood has gone up.
Yeah.
Like even the recycled stuff, the price in that's gone up to what it used to be. And the price of new stuff's increased too because obviously they're importing it from Tassie.
Why is it so smoky?
And New South
What have I
Wales.
No, it's good. We just need to get the...
It was cool, and we also put green sticks on it.
True. There's heaps of good dirty ones if you...
It's the fire triangle. That's what it
I
is.
feel like I need a Raising the Grain shirt so I like
Be
match
on
you
brand?
guys, be on brand.
I've got a hoodie here.
Yeah, put it on.
Yeah, should I put it
take
on?
your cardi off. Put the hoodie on.
You don't have to.
It'll be so warm though.
Just for a little bit.
Really hot.
Nah. It'll be fine. But speaking of hoodies, I think we came up with a good idea just before about a creative enterprise you could follow. Or
Another
creative,
one.
doesn't have to be an enterprise, just a pursuit.
You talking about me?
Yeah, the material prints
Oh yeah, do mine.
frame on frames. And
Yeah,
you
do
could
like
really
a-
lead it into like getting material that's getting like thrown out. Like offcuts from like factories where they have like, you know, it's not big enough to make a shirt so they just throw it in the bin. You could probably get like cotton offcuts or whatever material you want to use and print onto that as taking a waste material and then making it valuable by putting fucking pretty little pictures, sick designs, and then frame it up, stretch it like canvas style frame stretching if you want. I would have one of them on our wall, I reckon.
Would it look a bit too digital though? You know, the
Some
print?
people love that
I mean,
shit.
like on the wall.
Some people love that shit.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
Some of those like
it depends
retro,
on people's style.
Yeah. You know those houses with all the funky furniture and shit. that people do?
Bauhaus.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Bauhaus.
Bauhaus. What does that mean?
It's just like the style. You know, there's like modern living and then contemporary and blah blah and retro, what all the things.
Yeah,
Wow.
you definitely have
Bauhaus.
contemporary design.
I don't know what it's just. Yeah, it's just a flow. I don't even know.
Yeah, it's a good.
It's its own thing.
This
nice
this looks very Japanese to me here. This like big
This is
red sun at the bottom, and then this like looks like a Japanese character.
Yeah, I think initially the lines were probably influenced by, but they were never like. I never looked at any. They were just kind of was like every single line is just random off my head, except for that one fireplace guy.
Yeah, that fireplace one's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at all the waddle in his head.
I know. It looks good. I like it.
You had some waddle.
Flower nymph.
And you'd probably love it with a bit of lemon.
Yeah. It's just like a little bit too fishy for me.
Yeah, and it gets a bit like that too.
Yeah.
It happens.
But it's very nice. It's very fresh.
Yeah.
So fresh.
Sometimes things are just too fishy.
Do So Fresh still make albums?
I don't
I haven't
think
heard of
so.
one.
But also, I don't know if we're that in
That's stuff in the
touch.
2000s.
And it's also like different target audience. It's definite teenage pop.
Well, I think the thing as well is like back in our day, we used to go to JB Hi-Fi or Sanity to buy the CD, whereas now kids we listen to everything on Spotify. Like, who the fuck's buying CDs?
So
Well, at least you're downloading it for.
Or you're downloading it.
During the birthday night the other night, was having a chat.
30th.
30th.
Represent.
Was having a chat with Eddie, and he's worried that the next gen potentially may not have those cute characteristics that describe that era that we were in. Do you think the current era has something like that?
So you're saying the current generation lacks cute things? Is
Well-
what I heard. they have little robot friends.
Well,
Live in their pockets all the time.
I think it might be the climate change era.
It's also
That's what
that
we're
era,
in,
yeah. It's an era of like fast technological advancement
It is,
in a lot of ways. Like,
but also like a lot of time that everyone is kind of
I think
observing
it's very,
changes in nature of like world climate, you know. And but there's also, I really struggle to figure out the Richter scale of life because of news and hypocrisy and creating fear, and I struggle to know. Obviously, you know, there's some serious science out there with all things in general, but I really do struggle to find where the scales sit in general, because so much is like created with fear, you know.
Do you listen to much like ever any podcasts by scientists? Like Joelle Gergis is an Australian scientist. I actually interviewed her on the radio.
Yeah.
Was it this year or last year?
Cool. What radio
Anyway,
was that?
she wrote this on Dirt Radio, Triple R.
Okay.
I used to host the show sometimes for Friends of the Earth.
In where?
In Melbourne.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
And anyway, I got this climate scientist on the show who has written a book called Humanity's Moment, and she is one of the lead authors of the IPCC.
Yeah, we love a plug.
Report.
Yeah.
Podcast plug. Sorry.
No, but just for context.
Is that the podcast name?
For context.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
That's, you know, one of the lead authors of, and like, you know, people who read the IPCC and edit it before it's published. And I mean, there's lots of people who input into that process, but yeah, she's this incredible climate scientist, and she's got a podcast that also is interviewing other climate scientists who conduct work to understand the climate. And there's one episode, it is incredible, and it is about a woman who walks across this glacier for 3 months, taking a core sample at every meter.
Every meter?
Every meter.
What's that long?
I know. Really frequent.
It's like the size of the fish I caught before.
And
how big was the sample? And wonder what she was storing it in. Maybe too many questions.
yeah, but
maybe I should check it out, because it sounds.
Sorry, did I say meter? Every kilometer.
Oh, nice, that's all right.
Kilometer.
Kilometer.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you smoke weed. When you smoke weed, you forget numbers and metrics and things.
But you gain a lot of other things.
Imagine doing that.
Height.
Giggles?
Tonterias.
Yeah.
When I was saying yesterday. Wait. No, don't digress from this, because you want to know about climate change.
Yeah, this is an important point.
Important.
Listen up.
There's lots of news that gets pushed around the world. This is what I'm going to say. And you read articles and it makes you feel fearful because it's the worst of the worst. But when you listen to stories of people who are in real time working amongst us to better understand the climate, and you realize the lengths and care that they put into that work, it actually gives you hope. And that's the point of Joelle's work with like these podcasts and her book Humanity's Moment. It's actually to like, amongst all this fear and like you feel, you know, like there's nothing you can fucking do, right? There is nothing we can fucking do except try and stop fossil fuel industries from creating more pollution, etc.
You can grow your own vegetables. That helps.
Yeah, that does help. But
definitely helps.
The grand scheme of thing, like, yeah, you need pockets of hope. And there's a massive, massive unknown with climate science, which is when permafrost melts, that contains 3 times the amount of carbon that already exists in the atmosphere. And imagine how rapidly the ice will melt and how rapidly all that will end up in the atmosphere. And we have no data, because that's never happened in the history of planet Earth, to show us what could potentially happen to the climate. So it really is just a surrendering and like trying to be as, you know, in tandem with nature as we can right now, because that's all we've got. And also humans are so adaptable. Like we are so fucking smart, and
yeah, we
have potential.
And that's the other thing science doesn't know.
Yeah.
It doesn't know when humans are going to start giving a fuck enough.
Yeah.
And actually sorting the shit out. Like, you know,
some of you may die.
Some of you may
die.
But
it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
But also it's like, you know,
if you work together, death will be less.
Yeah, if we do work together, it'll be good. But it's like, you know, some people don't do life well. They make some mistakes, and then they make some more mistakes, you know? But if you, like, own your mistakes and actually, like, get up and be like, oh, I'm really overweight, it's going to affect my health throughout my life, but I'm going to exercise and get healthy and fit and re-engage with life, you know? I think a lot of people bounce back from hard situations, and as a civilization, I think that's what we need to do now. Just get out of bed and go for a run. Go to work, your life will be better, you know? Get out of bed, go for a run, plant some veggies.
Yeah, plant some trees.
Recycle some shit.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm hopeful and I'm enjoying the world around me, and helping it out is part of that enjoyment.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Got to live a life of purpose and connection to the place that you are lucky enough to live upon. Like I always feel an immense amount of gratitude when I wake up in the morning and I look around and I'm like, wow, I am so freaking privileged and blessed to be here. And sure, I'm in like the middle of fucking nowhere to some people, but like I never wake up and have any sort of dread about my day or walking out of my home. Like I don't feel like I'm in a box. I don't feel like I'm disconnected and I'm just like, you know, on the treadmill, like going to a job and doing this and that and tic-tac, blah, blah. Like that's not existence to me.
Yeah, well, I think it's through that connection that you become more relaxed. It's like, if you grow vegetables, obviously I like growing vegetables because I've just said it 3 times, but you get out, you like weed your garden, or you like put some compost around your plants, mulch it up. It's going to help the plants, but you're also getting your hand in the soil and some sunshine on your face.
Which scientifically is very good for you. Vitamin D and the microbiome.
It's actually beneficial for you, for your wallet. And, you know, you're composting your food waste. That's not going into the tip and creating methane gas. That's a bloody good thing. Cows create a lot of methane, but also organic waste in landfill.
Oh, yeah.
Don't put your organics in your bin.
You're really speaking to the podcast right now.
I'm just breaking the third wall. You know, it's good to do sometimes. Finn did it at the start.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Like,
always got to look at it sometimes. Yeah,
you know,
sure.
The longer you leave between breaking that, though, the more impactful it is.
Okay, I've got a confession to make. I actually feel very nervous being filmed for extensive amounts of time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does a camera make you feel a bit like...
All the time.
Does it?
That's why I'm trying to practice this more. With just keeping it on and then finding...
Something just popped up on the screen.
What I said, ooh, you're so smart.
Had some technological issues. So we're just checking out. Episode number 2. Out in the bush, next to a river. Lots of love to these two funny little checkout. We lost some audio, so we'll see how it goes. Anyway, love you.
No.